How you doing, Vapors? Vape Vapor here. The channel is Vape Vapor. This is Grandpa Vapor. I'm here to tell you today about the Unity profile. I already did a video prior to this where I got my Unity profile. I got it on my iPad. It's a gold. It's beautiful, people. It's a great device. And what I'm going to show you today is I'm going to unpackage one and show you, but I'm not going to go through it all because I'm sure you've already watched all the corporate horror reviewers unpackage one. But I got another one and I wanted to show you a few things about it. Wow, blew you out on the first vape. Okay, so when I got the one I got from China, I pre-ordered. It came in a package like this. It's pretty nifty. Some people complain they don't like the plastic box with the plastic cover, but the RTA sat inside here with the bubble glass, or with the straight glass in there. The packaging was pretty cool. Just slipped off the top. There it was. So I ordered one now from 8vape.com. I suggest that you go there and order them from them. I have good prices. Las Vegas gets shipping real fast. I like them because I've used them for several years, and I've never had one issue with them. Now I'm going to get 15 comments out of the bottom. I've always got screwed by 8vape. I don't care. Okay? But here's the package compared to the one from China that they're now sending to you for the stores for the Profile Unity. Okay? Got the disclaimer on the one from the store, the online store from Las Vegas, and different backing on the one from China. I thought that was kind of funny that they changed it. I guess because the plastic might have got damaged. I don't know, in the front here, or you know, or whatever. But anyway, this is the one you're going to get from the store. I'm going to keep this just in case it becomes some kind of collector's item down the road for vape products. Okay, so there it is. Big disclaimer. Product contains nicotine, which it doesn't. It's just a tank. And they put that all in there, I guess, for the American consumer and our great bureaucracy of a government that we have that regulates these things. Okay. So anyway, the kit contains Profile Unity RTA, user manual, Japanese cotton next mesh, glass tube adapter, extra screws, mesh tool, screwdriver, extra O-rings, and extension. So you guys seen all the videos on that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to open this up because it hasn't never been opened up. Okay, it's got a little plastic coating on it. This is a golden. It's called a golden. I got two gold ones because I like the color. They're going to match the mods I'm going to put them on. I put them on dual battery, 18650 mods. They can go up to 200 watts. Throw this in the trash. They can go up to 200 watts. Okay, so this one has a slide out. The other one had a cap on it. Oh, look at that. So they wrapped them better with this for the vape stores in America that you get from here in America now. And when you open it, it's back to the original, which didn't have a sleeve on it. Okay? So there you go. So there was no sleeve to the one from China. Okay, so let's get this bad boy out of the box. There's, well, I'll show you the box now. You just saw it though with the other one. So, oh, there we go again. I just hate these boxes. They just don't come apart the way they're supposed to. So I take my little device here that I use to wick with sometimes, ease it out so I can get a hold of it, and take the plastic top off. It's pretty neat packaging. I like the way Wotofo packages their stuff. It's really high quality the way they package their stuff. So there it is. Excuse me, people. There it is. So we're going to go in there and reach in there and get the glass out. We're going to attempt to put this glass in here, and I'm going to tell you something about making this a 3 to 5 millimeter glass thing. I couldn't do it with the first one. All right, and I had to go and look at what Wotofo was saying on how to do it. And I'm going to attempt to do that today. Wow. What's the deal with this? Huh. So this is the first time I've seen this. There is some kind of plastic. There's some kind of plastic insert in there. Huh. Alright, so anyway, I don't know if you people have seen it. You've already seen all the stuff that they give you. And they give you obviously the tools, okay, to use it with. But here's what I'm going to tell you. It's a screwdriver and a wicking tool, a coil former. People, I've got tons of these because I have profiles and profile unities. I would suggest you go to VAPE.com and buy the official Wotofo toolkit for it, because, and there's a reason why I'm going to tell you this. It's very nice setup. I'm going to show it to you. Okay, 16 bucks. VAPE.com. It's got places to store stuff. It's got a place to polish it. It gives you a mat, a rag to polish your metal things. This thing comes with extra different screwdriver adapters. It's got everything in it. I've used every one of them. They're very good quality. 16 bucks. You can't beat that. Because if you're going to do sub-ohm tanks, then you're not getting the flavor anymore, people. You need to really go to the profile and the profile unity RTA. Okay? Because they changed the vaping industry, and I'm trying to give you the truth here, people. I still use a sub-ohm tank, okay, a smock species with a triple mesh coil in it with the baby V2 tank, and I find it a high quality device as a regular mod with factory coils. The flavor is just as good as any fire loop mesh, any other mesh factory coil on the market. Okay, so these tools, you saw the toolkit. Okay, they give you a couple cottons with this one. It seems as though, and it appears to me, that these cottons that come in the thing are not as thick as this one here. These 6 millimeter Wotofos. Okay, these have also a thinner eyelet on them than what comes in this box that they're pushing. So what I found, people, is 2 of these, and if you cut the 3 millimeter Wotofos, if you cut them, one of them, and use 2, they work perfectly. Okay, also cotton. These things work good, really good. Okay, I really like this company. Everybody else is going to say Firebolt, but I like these ones to use to wick these things, and they work out perfectly. Okay, so put that back in there. I can use it later, right? This is like $3.99, I think, on 8vape.com, maybe $4 for 20 of them. You're not going to wick these things but once a month. This is a year's supply. Not unless you're a very heavy chain vapor. Okay, people? I'm going to give you the extra parts. Okay, you want to keep them because that little adapter's in here, and I'm going to use that little adapter today. Hopefully, if I can get this thing off of there. Manual. I said I wasn't going to go through this, but I'm trying to go through it quick, people. There, they give you 2 OFRS strips. Of course, Wotofo sells strips also to you in a little canister type device that they give to you. And alright, so we'll put all that back in there, except for these 2. I'm going to use my toolkit because I'm not going to use that. Getting stuff together. It's going to be a longer video, people, but bear with me because I want to do a real person that's not a corporate home reviewer that that sits here that has maybe 2 or 3 people working for them, trying to make these things perfectly so they can show them to you perfectly on there. I'm a real user, so I'm going to show you what real use is and whether or not we can get this thing done today. So anyway, here's the profile. First thing is I'm going to unscrew the top of it. Okay, take the top off. It's very easy. It kind of finds a little lock, and then it goes on there. It screws 1/4 of a turn to a 1/2 a turn, and it locks down on the device. So there you go. There's the top. Oh, by the way, this drip tip on here, best drip tip I've ever drawn off. Ever. Ever, people. Okay, we're going to take the bottom off. It takes a little screwing, people. Hopefully I can do this for you. Okay, there's the base. It's basically Mr. Just Right one's base. I think they have upgraded the springs on these because it's a little tighter than a profile. Okay, otherwise this is exactly the same as the bottom of a profile. Okay, bottom of a profile. This is a black gunmetal. I really like this. It's really cool looking. It's got the painted things in the drip tip, but this drip tip isn't as wide as the profile Unity. Okay, and I found out that it collects stuff around this dome area below the drip tip when you're vaping it all the time. Let's see how it works. Ooh. The flavor is just amazing, people. I'm not going back to anything else. Okay, so there's the base. Okay, here's your 3mm glass, and this is supposed to unscrew from this. I found out on the first one that you couldn't unscrew this bad boy virtually at all. So I'm having the same problem here as I had with the other one to unscrew this thing. And I do not know what they put inside this thing. This is not the same. You see this? The metal tube goes up in there. The metal dome from the inside goes up in there, but there's something plastic in the middle of this. And I'm not sure what it is. We're going to have to find out, though. I'll tell you what, I just can't get it off. I don't know what to do with it. We're going to see if I can get this off, one way or the other. I'll tell you what, Wotofo, you need to mess with that. I don't know why you've got them like this. Great. Well, see, there you go, people. So now with real world, I had to bust the 3 glass out. Just the way Wotofo made this. I didn't like that. I'm going to have to go wash it out now, get all the glass out of it. And I tell you what, I really don't like how they did that. Oh, but now it unscrews. Now I have 3mm glasses for this, and I'm not really worried about it. Okay, so Alright, I'm just trying to figure out what this is. It's some kind of plastic rubber thing, and I'm not, it wasn't in this one. This is a new one. I don't think I've ever seen this on a review before. But it's not in there. It's not in this one. You see that? It's not in this one. Why that was in there, I guess it was to keep the glass or it together, or what it was. I'm not sure what this is from Wotofo. I'm not really sure at all. Because being in there, it would cover the wicking, I mean the juice fill down and through it. I don't get what that's for. It would also reduce your capacity. Have no idea what that was, people. From them. I've never seen this on a review or anywhere about it. That is odd as hell. That they didn't. I guess it's in the manual. I didn't read the manual. I mean, obviously, but I should have. I guess maybe they would have said it. Remove it. But anyway, I'm gonna open up my packaging here so I can get the adapter out of it. They also have extra springs in here, people, but I don't think you're going to need it for a profile unity at all. So, alright, we got it out. Here's the adapter, people. Okay, it's got an O-ring on it. Okay, you might want her to put some juice on it, but I didn't. So, let's see how this thing works. So the 3 mil glass is just like any other sub-ohm tank, such as smocks. So if you got extra one of those, you'll have an extra 3 mil, but I'm not going to go with 3 mil. I found out through vaping, people, that these 3 mils, you got to fill them up like every 15 vapes. 15 or 16, maybe 20 at the most vapes. One thing that corporate horror reviewers aren't going to tell you about these things, or Wotofo or anybody else, people. This is on my iPrib, by the way. The talking mod from Smock. It's great. It's on sale at WW8 Vape for a whole lot less money than it first came out with. I think it's like 33 bucks. It's a great mod. It's great, fantastic design of the doors and the battery sleeves inside, and it's pretty, I think. They won't tell you about these things, the corporate horror reviewers, anybody, is they're massive juice hogs. And I found this, if you want to conserve the juice on these, you do not have to hit these because they chunk huge clouds. So, hit the fire button a couple times for a second or two, you got enough vape, people. You don't have to mess with it anymore. Alright, so we got it off. We're going to put the new 5 mil glass on. Okay, obviously it spits one way. Okay, so be careful when you go to put this glass on there. Make sure that everything's cleaned off of this, nothing's inside it. From that glass I had to break. Yeah, I don't see anything. Good deal. So what's going to bring it down tight on this is when you screw in the top portion of it. Oh, I'll tell you what, the way they designed this to get this 5 mil on is a con to me. It is not the best way to do this, people, with Wotofo. You got to come up with something easier than this, where it's already 5 mil, or a bubble tank. Once you get it together, people, right? once you get it lined up in there, you have to push down. Okay, and then it catches the threading. Okay, so now we're at 5 mil. Make sure this is tight too, because you don't want leaks. So we got it together. Push down. Make sure it's tight. Make sure your airflows are still working. Okay, so we have the extension in place. Let's see if I can show you the difference between the size of this and this. Move it up here for you. See? So now I'm going to have way more juice capacity in this. Alright, and that's what I wanted to do. I'm going to keep this one to see the difference between flavors and stuff, between the 3 and the 5. Pick up your vape and enjoy the video, because I'm going to do this to the end of it. Okay, so I close off the air holes. We've got it right. We've got the base off. We're going to leave the top off. And what we're going to do is I'm going to wick this bad boy for you. And I'm going to use one of Wotofo's cottons because they work pretty well in this thing. And I'm going to wick it exactly the way you should. Okay? Alright. Let me grab an OFRF. I buy them in boxes like this. It came with 2. So I'm going to open up the one from Wotofo's when they use theirs, so I can put it away. Be careful, people, when you open these up, because if they're sitting up at the top and you go to get it out of there, you'll bend one of them, like I just did a little bit, but it's not going to make any difference. Alright, so we always want to do that. Now let's get the tool out, people. It's very important, this tool. Now I would use my tool kit, but I'm just going to use this to bend it over to get it into the to get it ready to go into the base of the profile unity. And I've done that right there, nice and firm, and make sure it's perfectly symmetrical. I'm going to set it down. I'm going to try to show you what it looks like. Okay, let me put this tool away. Let's see if I can get it in there for you. It ends up being a little arch. Nice little McDonald's dome, if you want to. Nice little McDonald's arch. Okay, people. I'm going to get my tool kit out now because I want to use it on the Wotofo. We're going to do this thing the correct way. We're going to see if we can get these screws undone. Here's the problem I run into with these bases. I don't know what it is, but when they manufacture them, one of them unscrews very easily. The other one is a bitch. The other one is a bitch on both sides of this. Okay? So we're going to see if we run into that problem today also. Alright? Well, not on that one. Not on that one. Well, that's the first time I've experienced that for one, because I've put 3 or 4 of these together. And that's the first time I've never had a problem getting them off. Okay, so the little slats are open, people. We're going to drop our mesh down in there. Very easy to do. Take a look at it, because I haven't screwed the screws down. Okay. Perfect dome. Perfectly round archway. It sits in there perfectly. Okay, take your screwdriver, snug up the one on the right. Okay, snug up the one, I didn't say tighten it yet, on the left. Now, you can go back to the other side. And make sure it's tight, because when you go to thread these cottons through there, sometimes it pulls it out and you bend the hell out of this coil, or this mesh strip. And you wasted one, because you got to have it uniform and nice and arched. Okay? So, what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to get me one of the cottons out that they sent with this too. Here's the cottons that come with it. I'm going to take one out, I'll show you. These things, these cottons, people, are a monster. I found it easier with these eyelets on. So I smooth it out a bit, right? I pull it out a little bit. Because to force it through that archway, you can ruin a you can ruin one of these strips, and you're wasting your money, right? Sorry, I have to vape while I'm doing this video. Alright, what you do is, and you've seen these videos already, people, is push down on that block. Oh, see, now it's real world. Now, you think these corporate horror reviewers don't drop stuff and get this stuff right perfectly the first time? No, because they cut and paste. They cut their videos, and they cut them, and they make sure that everything's perfect. So I'm trying to do a real world one. Okay, so like I said, people, you got to watch it, because you pull it through here. As a matter of fact, before I do that, I'm going to do this anyway. We're going to put this on a T-Priv LED, and I'm going to burn it off. Okay, I don't see the big deal in it. I don't think there's anything on here that these people would leave on here. We'll check the ohms on it, make sure that it's okay. Okay, when you do this, people, you burn it a little bit. Take it down to about 15 or 20 watts. Oh, she went into watt mode. Okay, take this down to about 20 watts. Don't burn this stuff off on this at 70 or 80 watts or whatever. The things are only designed to go from 60 to they're only designed to go to 60 to 70 anyway. Some people take them to 80. I don't see how they get away with it. They're going to burn them out real quick. We're going to fire it, and we're going to heat it up a little bit. See it? Getting red? There. Now it's all the way red. So now, being a real world reviewer, I'm going to have to wait for that thing to cool down a little bit. Okay? They cool down pretty quickly. Thinking I'm going to have to move this. I'm glad I'm taking a look at it, because I don't know if you people can see that, but it's cocked to the right slightly. You don't want it like that. So I'm looking at it crosswise, and I'm going to move it into position where I want it. See, this is real world. This is how finicky these things are, people. Let me look at it from the top to the bottom. I don't see how this got crooked though. Okay, looks like we straightened it up. Okay, now, all right, let's thread this cotton. Let's try this one more time. You know, when you do this, you got to be careful pulling it through there on these things. I think I got it about halfway there. Maybe a little bit more. There we go. It's such big cotton on these things, people. Big, big cotton on these. Oh, I'm going to stop and vape, you guys. It's going to be a long video if you want to skip forward. I do want to show you how to wick this thing the right way. And I'll put it up in there. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. What we're going to do is we're going to cut it. On an angle, people. On an angle. See that? Make little rabbit ears. Now, if I straighten these out the right way, I'm thinking this one here. I'm going to take a little bit more off of that. Okay, that's what you end up with when you first cut it. Alright, see that? Real world, people. I'm going to give you real world building. Alright. Now, take Wotofo's little cotton pusher. Okay. Comes with Wotofo, they're kind of spring loaded. Okay. Alright, I'm going to be using those. But what I use to do my wicking is this knife. So the little tiny pen knife. Okay. And what I do is I take and I fluff it out on the side straight up and down. Okay, that's what I do. I pull it up. And there's a reason why you pull it up and pull it down. Alright, we got that. You got to have, when you do these, people, you're going to essentially build a wall. Okay? You're going to build a wall. They're very finicky. So this is what I ended up with after fluffing it up. Okay? Don't worry, we're going to get it perfect. We're going to cut it off. We're going to make this thing perfect. Now what I found right now after I fluffed it up is I come in here real quick and I cut them off flat. Okay, you see how I did that one? We're going to build a wall, people. A wall to go up into the RTA. Okay. Strip a little bit off the top. Snip a little bit off this one. Okay, look what I've done. Now, I don't care who posts down here saying that I'm doing it the wrong way, because I'm not. I'm making a square wall. I think this is the best way to do it. Once you make that diagonal cut, when you first put the cotton in there, is very important, that diagonal cut on both sides, diagonally. Okay, it's very important. But after that point in time, after you've fluffed it out, and you've got it like this, okay, into a wall square, the way they put the wicking ports down in here on both sides in this ring in the middle, okay, it's very important that it go in there squarely. Okay, so it just touches the bottom. So what I did was I squared these off. Okay, I'm going to show you a way. I'm going to show you after I get done how this ends up being a wall. Okay, but right now I want to hit off my profile home on my TVL squonk device with the squonk button, the 4.0 chip, the bottom fill. Why would I buy a .5 topside? This is far superior. Lemon twist, people. Lemon twist. Okay, so what we're going to do here now is we're going to put this thing down into the wicking port. And you know what? I'm going to use my knife like I always do. Look at that. My wall just fucking went in there just exactly the way I wanted it. While you get it in this port here, I don't know if you people can see that in that port, but see how I built a straight up and down wall into that wicking port? It's straight up and down. There's nothing sticking out of it, and it's barely touching the bottom of the well, okay, which is only a couple millimeters lower. Alright, so I'm going to fluff this top up on this side. And we're going to end up having some excess on this thing. You can see it already. It needs to be cut. Remember, the point of this all is to build a wall. And I'm telling you, this is the way to do it. I don't care what everybody else is showing you. I'm telling you what I'm doing. And what I'm doing works fantastic. Okay, we're building a wall. We're going to take some off the top here. You know how everybody's sitting there talking about how these are a pain in the butt to wick them, but once you wick it, it's going to last a month. You take your time and do it like this in the beginning. Oh yeah, baby. Okay, one wall is done. That's it. Now we're going to put in the other one. And this is the hardest part about it, people, is putting these down in these juice wells that they designed on this. That's why I use this little pen knife, because it's a lot easier to get it down in there. This Wotofo cotton is so thick. You have to fluff it back up so you get this wall going. Alright, got it down in there. We're going to trim it off. So I come across the front of it, right? And then I take these edges off. A little bit on top. Okay. I'm going to straighten it up here. It's very important, the reason why I'm building this like a wall. Because when it goes up into the RTA, you don't want to hit any part of the RTA with the cotton. You want to slip it right up in there so it goes up in there and stays against the wall of the RTA. Now, that's the way I do it, people. Straight wall. Okay, it looks like a cube. Straight up and down into the ports, into the wells, here, up and down, with just a slight overhang on the top here. So when it goes up into the device, it acts as if it's a wall of a wick. Now, here's the second trick to this that I learned out of these. It's after I take a hit off my profile. Did I blow you out? It's a game changer, people. I don't even know why anybody wants to vape on a tank anymore, a sub-ohm tank. I do have one that I use still, a smock species with a triple coil mesh V2 baby tank. Otherwise, the flavor on profiles and the profile unity blow everything away that's out of the market. The corporate horror reviewers are not going to tell you this because they got to keep promoting other items. I'm done with them until they come out with something better. Okay, now I'll talk to you about things in the future, but as for this profile and Wotofo and the profile unity have blown the vaping industry wide open, and they just don't want to admit it. They don't want to admit it. Okay, so we're going to load this bad boy up. We're going to load this one up with Mr. Charlie's Chalk Dust Lemon Meringue. Mr. Meringue, Charlie's Chalk Dust. It's an amazing vape juice. I think Rip, the #1 talking head out there, it was his favorite for a very long time. So it's very important, people, to get this thing really wicked up, really juiced up well. Put a little bit on your coil. Go down on the side ports first and get those side ports. I'm going to show you something the corporate or reviewers that everybody and his brother has done a build on these now didn't show you. Okay? I think Suck My Mod did show you. He did about the best build I can see out there was from Suck My Mod. If you guys want to go watch his video, he did about the best one. Now, I watch these people. I'm not dumb. I want to see what they're doing. I pretty much don't like the way the industry does them with them being all they're going to support almost everything they look at so they can get paid. Okay. While you're in here, people, doing this with the wicking, you can either do it with the tip of your device, of your chubby bottle, okay, or you can go back when you get it all together, all the e-juice on it. And I'm going to tell you this: you may have to cut after you wick this thing with juice by hand. It doesn't appear that I'm going to have to do that with this. But what I did, if you can see this, is when I juiced it, I made sure that everything on it was flush, straight up and down, like a wall, straight up and down. I don't want anything hanging out of this juice port down here, okay, at all. Okay, and I don't want anything overhanging, so I pushed it all nice and tight back together as if it's a wall. Very important that you do that. So that's what we ended up with. You see this? So it's a straight up and down wall that's going to slip straight up into that bottom device, just the way we want it. Just the way we want it, and cover so you get no leaks. Okay, I've juiced this enough. And I mean, I had to juice this thing. You've got to juice this thing, people. Now here comes the tricky part. I still don't know what this is. Wotofo needs to let somebody know what this is that came inside the tank, because I have no clue what it is. I guess it's a protection device of some sort. But anyway, I digress. And let me go ahead and hit one of these. This one here is full of lemon twist. Lemon twist, another great lemon flavor, people. One of the best on the market. I've been thinking that Mr. Merengue is better because it's a different kind of lemon. It's more of a lemon meringue. And lemon twist is lemon twist. I'm the only one that blows you out in the screen that easily because of what these devices do. Okay, so here's the tricky part too, people. You see this? We're going to slip it down on there, and it has slots on it. Okay, and you have to line those slots up correctly when you go to put this on there. Alright, you want to just be very careful when you do this. Oh, I'm going to have to go back and push this in. That's why I wanted to do real world review. Okay, you want this pushed in, because when it goes in there, it has to slip in there cleanly. Otherwise, you'll pull your cotton down and it will leak on you. So what I do is I flatten it. Okay, see how I'm flattening it? It has to be flat to slip up in there. I think my juice made it come out a little bit. That's what it did. Okay. So I flattened it. Let's see if we can get it going this time. See, it's a real world review, people. This is how tricky and a pain in the ass these are. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and try to line up these slots. Nice and easy over it, people. That time. Alright, it sat right down on there. You see that it's not threaded? It just sat into the little slots. And I got it on there without tearing your cotton down, because you want it up the walls. Okay, you want it straight up and down in this cylinder. Okay, now you take it, it drops down in there. Oh, I'm being so foolish. I'm being so foolish. I forgot. See, this is real world. I forgot. This is an RTA. And the only way to screw the base in is you have to take it off the mod. Now, my bad, people. My stupidity. And I'm not ashamed to admit it. And pretty much everybody didn't even know that when they came out with this profile RTA. So you have to screw it down with it off the base. Okay, make sure everything's real tight now. Make sure your little connection in there is really tight. Alright, now you're into a 5mm mode. Alright, now we can put it back on the mod. So we're going to see if it leaks, baby. We're going to fill it up with Mr. Meringue. We're going to fill it up with Mr. Meringue. 5 mils, baby. That's what I wanted. 5 mils, baby. You know how the corporate holder reviewers only fill them up to a quarter way? I fill mine to the top. I mean, I don't know why they do that. I just get rid of the video as quick as they can, I guess. But I fill it all the way up. Alright, it sets on there into a little latch type procedure, people. And then you go ahead and when it sets down in there, go ahead and screw it tight. Okay, so that's all tight. Now, what I wanted to tell you about this, you see the air holes on this, people? I use the air holes. It's a really nice way they do it. I use all four of them, 5 of them open on mine. Okay, and I like it that way. Some people may like less than that because this strip tip here is very restrictive anyway. Okay, but I guarantee you I wick this thing perfectly and it won't get a dry hit because I've done them and I know exactly how to do them. And I think Suck My Mod is about the best person that built one of these so far. Okay, now Mike Vapes, he does one, but it's totally different. I don't think it's correct, but he says it seems to work. The Suck My Mod did it perfectly, and I commented on his site that it was perfect. Okay, so I got this thing set at 17 watts. I got it on normal strength. And let's see here. I'm going to start out at 60 on this. 60 to 70, people, I wouldn't take these things up more than 70. It tells you there's 60. It tells you on the OFRF strips that these are 0.13 ohms, power range 60 to 70. So don't use them higher. Now I'm getting a bunch of comments down here. You can go higher with them. You can go higher with them. They won't last as long. And you'll burn them out. And plus, it's a very, very warm vape when you go to 70 on these. So if you like a warm vape, go right to 70. If you like a semi-warm vape, go to 60. If you like a nice cool vape, go to 55, 50 on these. As a matter of fact, if you want to not burn your juice up to max, you can put these things down at 40 and they work well. They work well. So let's see if my device works correctly. A real world, real person that's going to use this every day. Uh-oh. Check it for leaks. Is there any bubbles? Bubbles coming up. Don't see any leaks. Nothing coming out the holes. Nothing. We're going to try it several times. Oh boy, that lemon meringue, it's so good. It's so good. Okay, what I'll do is I'll shut off some of the air to 3 holes. Much more tighter pull. If you don't want to be pulling that hard, don't put it down in 3 holes because it's really hard to pull with that drip tip. It's the best drip tip I've ever seen designed in the entire vape industry ever. It is so thick and so restrictive already that you don't need to do anything but keep this thing on wide open bore. Okay, so let's take it up to 65. 65 people. Okay. Warmer. Much warmer. 70. People. 70. See it? 70. Boy, that is good stuff, I tell you. I tell you what, man, these are juice hogs, though. Look at that. It already went down a little bit of the bubble in here. See that? Of course, I didn't know if I had to fill it all. Usually I fill them all the way to the tippy top, so I don't have to mess with them for a while. Okay, I'm going to make a random comparison to this and the other, the 3 mil. And I've seen this on other vape toys, so I'm going to show you the comparison between the two. All right. I think it looks good on my purple hybrid or T-Prip with my LED lights, and my other one looks really good on this gold bot. I think it looks great. Now, okay, that's at 70, and this is both at 70. So they're both at 70. 70, 70. Okay. This 3 mil, I see no difference in the taste. A few reviewers said there was a difference in taste. I don't see any difference in the taste. How they come up with that conclusion, I'll never know. Okay? Here's what I want to tell you people, warn you people about on these devices. If you leave them flat like this, or you turn them upside down, or you stick them in a bag, or you lay them on their side, they will leak out the holes. Okay, so you don't want to do that. So most of the time, this is going to be a desktop vapes that I have. Okay, because they will leak. They won't leak in your pocket, okay, if they're sitting there like that. But if you're going to lay these things down, people, for any period of time, they'll start leaking out of the holes. If you want to do that, close the holes off and lay it down. So when you pick it back up, it'll drain back into the bottom. Okay. Also, on these things is I lost my train of thought there for a minute. Other than being vape hogs, and they leak like that if you lay them down on their side or you stick them in a bag or something. These things are phenomenal devices. Okay, I'm not going back to any sub-ohm tanks. I'm only going to use one from now on. Okay, I have a box over in my last video. I showed people I have like 40, 50 tanks. I've got mods at the Yang over there I'm never going to use again. Ever. Okay, but there is one thing about these things I want to tell you. They will fit on a baby alien, and they look good on there. And I've got the G-Prip baby upgrade with the touch screen. They fit on this one too, the single battery mods, and they fit in your pocket a lot better like that. But you know, one battery is one battery. Okay. But you know, if you put them in your pocket, don't set them down, people. They'll leak. And if you don't wick it right, like a wall, and slip it in there perfectly, okay, with just that bottom port just covered like a wall underneath it, looking up and down to go inside this, and about a millimeter or so just above the coil, you're going to get leaks or it's not going to work correctly. Oh, it tastes so good. So people, hit my like buttons down there. Doesn't hurt you to do that. Doesn't hurt you to subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to keep coming back with the new innovations that come out in vape industry. I will purchase them. I will use them. I will vape with them daily and tell you the truth about them. Okay? So I'm interested in your comments about how I did this, because the thing's working perfectly. Okay? Perfectly. As designed. You guys have a good day. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel. It doesn't hurt you, and I'm going to keep on going with this.